Hello, family. You're welcome to this episode of Global Postal Transformation series. I have here with me a very incredible guest. Our guest today is Mr. Maxwell. We met at Cape Verde, and it's an honor to have him on board today. Mr. Maxwell is from Zimbabwe. He's the Postmaster General of Zimbabwe Post. He's a seasoned leader with over 18 years of experience in operation, marketing, and strategic management within the postal and courier industry. Mr. Maxwell has held several leadership roles within ZIMPOST, rising through the ranks from postal operations to executive leadership. He also is also an academic and part-time lecturer with multiple advanced qualifications in business administration, strategic management, and leadership. His work focuses on organizational transformation, logistics, driving efficiency within public institutions, and it's a pleasure to have you here today, Mr. Marco. You're very welcome.
Thank you very much, Temitop.
Thank you so much, sir. So I had to compress your bio so that it doesn't take so much time.
Thank you so much.
All right, sir. So today we are talking about. Please confirm you can hear me very well and you can see me.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So today we are talking about postal transformation in ZIMPOST, and it's a very interesting topic because many people do not know that such transformation is going on in postal service. And for some of our audience that might not know what is going on in Zimbabwe, I want you to give context to. I know we had a lengthy discussion in Cape Verde, but I want you to give perspective to what is happening in ZIMPOST, where you met it, or what it has been before, and what transformation is like in today's era.
Thank you very much. As ZIMPOST, we are a designated postal operator, meaning to say we have an universal mandate on behalf of Zimbabwean government, where we are supposed to offer services to the populace of Zimbabweans. So what it means is we are supposed to be where business in some cases would not make sense, but we are obligated to be in the remotest areas where most of our competitors are shunned to be. The journey that ZIMPOST has taken, you are aware we fall under the Universal Postal Union, which is the second largest body of the United Nations, where we ensure that 192 countries coordinate their activities. The postal business in the past has been known for postal sending letters as well as parcels. But because of the coming in of technology, it has impacted on the operations of the post. Least to say, for those in leadership who fail to view this, sees this as a negative impact. But while the technology has come as disruptive, the postal sector in Zimbabwe has taken upon itself to make sure that those impacts are taken in the positive. And we have started a journey of transforming the post. Where are we coming from? We are coming from a government through the leadership of His Excellency President Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, when he took over as the Second Republic. They managed to come up with a vision, the vision that which we are also following, where they talked about coming up with the the upper income economy by 2030. So the national strategy that the Second Republic has managed to come up with, has also pillars, that which is of transformation, digital transformation. And as the post, we fall under the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services. And this ministry has been mandated to ensure that it digitizes and assists its citizenry to understand and appreciate the ICTs in their totality, so that when we become a second upper middle income economy by 2030, the population of Zimbabwe will be able to use the ICTs as an enabler, not only in the economy, but as we look at any individual within the state. So as ZIMPOST, we have aligned ourselves with the national strategy, which is the national strategy, National Development Strategy 2. We started with the National Development Strategy 1, where we were supposed to digitize the economy. But now we are mandated to ensure that we offer services through training of these of our population to understand the ICTs. And in that regard, as ZIMPOST, we have also come up with our smart post office strategy, which entails that we go physical as well as digital. So we have digitized our services by offering self-service portals. By offering self-service portals, we are making sure that individuals can use ICT gadgets to access postal services in their comfort of their homes. You have seen that we have what we call a virtual post office, where people are able to go into the post office in the comfort of their home and navigate what the post office is doing. Besides the generic where we have our website, but we have also come up with issues to do with the mobile application as well as the chatbot. So these, whilst they are being driven by Avatar, and they are in AI driven, you would also appreciate that we have managed to come up with a strong ICT internally, who have developed this chatbot as well as the mobile app. So we are in the process of getting into the real AI, where we want the AI now to assist us in the delivery of the last mile. Remember, when parcels come to the post, when letters comes to the post, we want to ensure that through the systems that the Universal Postal Union has given us, we then are able to route these parcels. The AI will assist us in developing the shortest route possible, so that we cut costs in terms of fuel and delivery as we do the last mile. So we have issues around a mobile app, where in this mobile app there are a lot of other services that we are putting into to ensure that it then services the whole nation. Our chatbot is called Sgijimi. That's one of our second vernacular language, Ndebele, which means we move fast, we run fast. So it is just a testament of how we have aligned ourselves with the local vernacular to say this chatbot will then be able to assist people to get answers and interaction through the ICTs. So as Post, we are not folding our hands, but we want to make sure that we align with the transformation that the world over is undergoing, and we are ready to assist our citizenry in that regard.
Awesome, awesome. I think you've answered some of my questions already, sir. And so you mentioned a lot of technology, AI. I want to ask, how do you ensure that the people we are trying to serve know about what we are doing? There could be a lot of technologies going on, integration, and how do the people get to know that Zimpos has moved from mail, traditional way, to to digitalization, such that can easily access it?
So what we have done as ZIMPOST is to align ourselves with the dictates of the environment. You remember in Africa, we are blessed that most of our population are in the ages around 19 to 27. And because of that, a lot of these young people are found on the handles. You look at the use of Facebook, the use of WhatsApp, the use of the X, the use of the LinkedIn, and all that. And ZIMPOST is playing there, and we are able to attract these youthful individuals to understanding the need of the post, its role to the society, and how they can also use the post office, because we believe we are a channel, we are an omni-channel, and we are a platform because of our physical presence in the communities, as well as the digital presence that we are also creating to ensure that all our youthful citizenry, they enjoy. And in that regard, we are able to capture the young ones. But what we have done also is when we have such innovations, we then must launch them because these are huge projects that would have achieved. And we believe we have to do a launch. And this is now inviting the mainstream media, where you have your local reporters, your local broadcasting, national broadcasting, and it's also in papers. And people have to feel the coming in of this a new development. And at times, we also run a promotion so that people get to test the service as we also improve on it. And these are some of the issues that we have done as we launch and get the product to the market.
Okay, okay. So looking at the advancement and transformation that is going on, I know it costs a lot of money. I mean, from the technology to the integration of AI to the launching, I know it costs a lot. Where is the fund coming from? I also have an idea that the economy in Zimbabwe is not such as stable. So how are you able to get funds to run such transformation?
Okay. Yeah, whilst it's a perception that the economy is not that good, but we have seen stability in the economy. But what we have done as ZIMPOST is we believe in partnerships, we believe in joining hands together, we believe in working together for a common cause. What we have done is when we have such events or such initiatives, at times we don't run alone. At times it's difficult for you to go and hunt alone, but you rather go and hunt an elephant as a village, and than to go and hunt a rock rabbit by yourself. So we then have to spread our costs through partnerships where we we also give and take. And this is why we believe in towering of stakeholder and management. So our stakeholders are key in the whole matrix, and we use these relationships to make sure that we both achieve our intentions and our objectives.
Okay, so talking about partnerships, what do you offer your partners? What does ZIMPOST offer partners? I'm looking at what they would stand to gain when they partner with ZIMPOST.
So, as ZIMPOST, we are all over, like I've said, across the country. We run a network, a footprint in excess of 320 postal outlets. And these postal outlets, they are able to communicate with each other. They don't operate in a silo. And if one comes on board to partner with ZIMPOST, they enjoy a already infrastructure that is in existence of more than 320. Unlike an individual or an organization who then must invest, so you don't have to invest in that. We have dedicated staff. We have been trained to do insurance, to do banking, to do postal business, to do logistics, to do the staff is so dedicated and they are well trained. And remember, every day they are working with different systems as they serve the population, the citizenry. And as they are doing that, you'll find it's an advantage for any organization to come on board, to come and partner with the Post. But what we do, we do that having looked at our tick box. You don't just come, we also want to see the value that we are going to bring to the Post, because we have a very strong brand that we need to protect. And we are not just taking anyone and everyone on board, but we also want to come to the table and see the offerings that are being offered by this partner. So that's how we have managed to walk this journey.
Wow, awesome. So I know that in the midst of all this transformation, there will still be challenges. Challenges, perhaps adoption by the populace, or issues, internal issues, cultural shifts, or mindset shifts. Or should I even start from here? That in Africa, we believe that post office is still about mails, sending parcels. So how is ZIMPOST able to change that narration? And also,
So,
what are the challenges in the process?
So as ZIMPOST, we have managed to come up with a culture change that is built on what we call the ABCDE of life. So there are just 5 things that we look at. We believe that A is the issue around attitude. We believe that with attitude, it then determines your altitude. If you are somebody who has the correct attitude, you are able to transform from things that are adverse into things that then benefits. So the attitude of our staff we have managed to inculcate a belief that we need to change the way we do things. And remember, change is not easy. Change is difficult. You need to move from your comfort zone to your courage zone. And when you do that, it then makes you want to achieve more. You will change your attitude. Because for other African postal organizations, you can actually tell that they are worried about the coming in of technology. They want to live in the old age where they would get government support, where they would, cry to say mail volumes are declining. But this is the challenges that we are facing. Currently, you notice that the Universal Postal Union has opened its doors to wider postal players. And this means more competition. And in some cases, you have seen local buses getting parcels from one point to another. That's a competition. And you need now to have the correct attitude to be able to understand and see how you leverage and position yourself in that whole matrix. So that's the A, which is the attitude. The B is we begin with the end in mind. We want to see the exact picture of what we want to achieve before we start achieving it. And this has pushed us in understanding our own national vision, our own ministerial vision, and the ZIMPOST vision in making sure that that vision is put into reality. You remember one of the former presidents of India, Dr. Kalim, he talked about a vision as a dream. And this dream is not that which we see when we are asleep, but he spoke about a dream being something that doesn't make us sleep. And as ZIMPOST, we have said we must point to things that do not make us sleep. And these things are transforming the Zimbabwean economy using the digital platforms. And as post office, we have been blessed to be part of that story. So we believe and begin with the end in mind. And if you look at your C, is the caring part of it. We need to care for each other, and we need to care for ourselves. So what do I mean by that? You'll find many postal organizations, they deliver parcels and services, but at ZIMPOST, we don't deliver that, but we deliver joy. We want to see our customers happy. We want to see our customers smiling. And how do we do that? We look at the customer journey, from where they receive, they post, right up to the way they receive the services. So in that, we are a caring organization. And remember, the customer is the king, and the customer can fire us all. And remember, as ZIMPOST, we also believe in two customer care rules. And we believe that rule number one, if the customer is wrong, the customer is always right. That's rule number one. Rule number two, if the customer is wrong, refer to rule number one. So there are two rules that we believe in. We believe that the customer is always right. We believe that if the customer is wrong, we refer to the first rule. So the customer is the king for us. We want to make sure the customer enjoys that journey. And that journey can only be enjoyed when we have an offering that is also good to the customer. So that's our C. Then our D is discovery. As ZIMPOST, we move with the motion and the notion that we should discover. What is it that we discover? We discover new products and services. We discover talent within the organization. And we also have to discover those outside the system. And we are able to discover. The last one, which is E, is excellency. So we have used excellency as a pillar to ensure that we transform the minds of our staff so that they are able to go easy as we change the culture of the post. So whilst we have all these problems that we've spoken about, the issues around decline in mail volumes, the opening up of the postal sector to wider postal player, to wider players, the coming in of technology, and also the other dictates of the environment that are impacting on the post office. We have managed to use excellency in all that to ensure that we are able to leapfrog and also head on with these challenges as we navigate and as we also address these challenges as we move towards what we call a post office, a smart post office. And we have a dashboard for that smart post office, and we know what needs to be achieved, and we know how we want to achieve it. I hope I've answered your question, Temi Tope.
Very well. That was very articulate and, shall I say, has a lot of context. While listening to you, I see that most of the things you spoke about reflect a competent leader driving all these initiatives, and they also speak to change of mindset. So I want to come back to you, sir. How
Yes.
or how were you able to get to a point where you could put all these factors together, or what has helped your own journey to be able to say that, okay, if postal service is going to transform, it starts from the people, not just the technology. Because I believe that what is affecting most postal services is because some of them are trying to compete and not focusing on true staff to be able to deliver. Let's take, for instance, we are talking about ZIMPOS being caring. I mean, who could have thought of,
Yes.
it's a business. Why do you have to really care for the people? I believe that there's a mindset that helped you to get to a point where you say that we really need to take care of our customers, not just the service we are providing. I want you to speak to that in a few minutes.
Thank you very much. We, as ZIMPOST, we are coming from a lot of challenges, a lot of legacy issues that are also bedeviling us, but we are happy that the structures that have been put by the government are so supportive. I talk of structures like the governance structures, our board. We have a young dynamic board that is also, in sync with what management and staff are trying to achieve, and they've given us that direction. But I must say we have a supportive a permanent secretary who has given us guidance in terms of policy direction, together with our minister, who is also very young, a young lady, and she has managed to give us direction and support. And all this is happening because it's a joint effort, notwithstanding the fact that we have a robust, regulatory authority. And that authority has also managed to listen to our concerns. They are not only regulating, but they also assist in making sure that our dreams are fulfilled. So when you look about caring, it starts with the governance issues. The whole system is on board, and everybody is understanding what we want to achieve, and they are so supportive. They give direction and also guidance, and we are so happy about that. And we feel we cannot fail the whole system as a group. How do we care? We believe in eating what we kill. When donations come and subsidies, if any come, that's a bonus. But we believe in us going out to hunt and be able to kill for us to eat. And as staff, members of staff, we have that war cry where we all must go and eat and kill. So you'll find that has become our departure point to ensure that we then must care when we have the beast and we feast. So we care about that. We also care, like I've said, we want our customers to be happy. And we have managed to put structures that reflects, that talks to the customers in terms of uh, the the new ICT modes of communication. You'd find people 24/7. We have people who work as they work. They respond to these issues about customers, and we want our customers to be happy through the call centers and things like that. So we want to make sure that we support and understand the customer and give delight and wow to the customer.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So talking about the staff now, I know there are some places in Zimbabwe that are quite developed, while some places are still very underdeveloped. How do you ensure that this transformation is happening everywhere? Looking at the fact that you can't be everywhere. You have the idea, you have the plan is there, but the way things are, some people take it up faster than some people. How do you ensure that across board in Zimbabwe, everybody is on their journey to digital transformation in postal service?
I will have to duck that question, but answer it in another format. I'll speak about how ZIMPOST is assisting everybody to do that. I will tell you the government and the regulator, like I've said, they came up with an idea of how to then assist the citizenry to ensure that they get access to the ICTs. And we were given the task to renovate our post offices through what we call digital centers. At first, they started as community information centers where we would put cubicles and desks so people would come in, they would borrow laptops, and they would have free Wi-Fi, and they would then are able to save and do their business. But we have managed to rebrand and redesign that concept through what we now call the digital centers. I'll talk about two things, the digital centers and also the digital track. So in the digital center, we have further revamped and realigned ourselves into making sure that we leave no place and no one behind, as is our mantra, and the mantra that was also espoused by our President, His Excellency Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa. So whilst these digital centers are everywhere, we have 179 digital centers currently, but we also have 38 what we call containerized information centers, digital containerized information centers. You know those big containers that are used for shipment. We fabricate those, put solar in them, and put Wi-Fi in them, and desks and computers. And in the remotest areas, we drop those, and people are able to access their emails, they do internet, and nowadays they are being taught how to code and all these new faculties that then assist in developing ICTs. And in that regard, we have actually managed to have coders from the remotest young coders who are doing very well, and they are then promoted to the next levels, where as the regulator, the ministry, and the operators ZIMPOST are able now to harness their skills, inculcating them more, and get what we require and upskill them, as it were. So you'll find these digital centers, they are coming in, and the government has said for one whole year, the Wi-Fi is paid by the government, and people are able now to access. It is so exciting when you see elderly, 60s, 70 years, coming in to understand what a laptop is. and understanding how to send a mail, an email. It's so exciting, and you can actually see that no one is being left behind. I will talk about the DigiTrack. A DigiTrack, this is also the initiative of our Honorable Minister, Honorable Tatenda Anastasia Mavetera, where she managed to come up with this idea to say, whilst we have the community, digital community containerized centers, we also have the digital centers. But sometimes we need something that is moving, that is mobile, that can go in places and train. And we have trainers, and these trainers, they go through training, and we do what we call the train the trainer. And through the digital track, they're able to move from one point, stay there for a week, move to another point, and they are training, and people are getting certificates in ICTs. And it's so exciting that you don't know how to use your phone until you are taught how to use it. But in most cases, we go on WhatsApp, we go on messages and all that. But there is more that this gadget can do to you. So these are the issues that the ministry is working on, and we are also managing the targets that we have been given as a ministry to make sure that we train all the citizenry in terms of ICT. So ensuring that everybody is trained on ICTs using the infrastructure that the government has given us and using this that the government has given us. And very, very appreciating it has managed
Okay, please confirm you can hear me, sir. Okay, I think network is giving us some issues. Hello, sir. Okay, you're welcome back, sir. I lost you for some seconds. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. I can see you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So you said a lot, and I believe you've answered most of my questions. However, I want to ask two questions I want to ask because while I was doing my research, trying to find out what is going on ZIMPOST, I could not find most of the things you are saying. I mean, I'm surprised that a lot more is going on than even what we discussed in Cape Verde. So I feel that perhaps we need to get the message. Hopefully, I believe that the people are enjoying the services, but I think we need to get the story out there much more, such that even people outside Zimbabwe know that this kind of transformation is going on with postal service in in Zimbabwe. I mean, maybe from your own personal account on social media, I tried checking your personal account, checking ZimPost account, and I believe that this story will go on to also encourage other postal services around the world to, to take up these initiatives or to adopt some of these ideas you are bringing in. So my question is, if government stops supporting, if you stop having the kind of support you are getting right now from government and stakeholders, do you think ZimPost will crash, or do you think the development or transformation will slow down?
Thank you very much. Yes, many administrators they think that it's only about financial support, but that policy guidance is very critical, and we feel that as administrators, as leaders, you should think outside the envelope, especially those from the post. If you think outside the envelope, you are able to see more, and you go far. So a lot of administrators they stop to think beyond that and remember. Albert Einstein also says you cannot solve the problems at the same levels they were created. So it means you need to push to think beyond the levels that you are at for you to survive. And I've seen a lot of administrators crying to say, the government is not supporting us. Yes, but like I've always said, the government has serious problems. Communication, yes, it's universal, but we have serious problems. Food security, for example. The government wants to ensure that its populace is well fed. You look at the security, you look at other issues, health, for example, and you cannot put that ahead of postals. And if you fail to understand that you are almost at the bottom in terms of priority, you need to work. You need to work, and this is where the challenge is. Some of the administrators they're just crybabies, and what we have done, or what this leadership has done, is to ensure that we use the platforms that we have. We use also the leadership that we have been entrusted. Remember, Zimbabwe is chairing the SAPOA, Southern African Postal Operators Association, and we tell our story, and we are also transforming and also influencing in a positive way other postal administrators to see that this can be done, and it must be done, and it should be done. And that kind of impact is also, flowing into other areas. As Zimbabwe, we also have the opportunity to sit in the admin council for the Universal Postal Union. And we have tried, and we are making strides to show that in Africa, we can also be on the same levels with the European postal administrators and the Americans, as it were. And it's not that we don't have resources. We have, but it's how we align ourselves and to ensure that we achieve what we want. But many times we see people being crybabies. Yeah, the budget was like this, but we need to think outside that and say, how do we then survive in this environment? And I tell you, with that vast star network, we are able to do more. We can do much more. In Zimbabwe, in ZIMPOST, we have taken on board about seven banks. They are in the post office, and you will not even see one brand branded tailor for this bank. It's universal, and we are saying all banks come to the post office. Why do you have to open many branches? And we want you to improve on your product offering. And ZIMPOST will do the last mile delivery. You look at the financial services, we are there, we are an omni-channel, and we are saying everybody, every money transfer, come. Whilst we also have our own, products in there, and they are competing, and we are both getting what is due to us as well as our commissions, and things then they move, and that convenience is what we are selling to individuals, and this is where the transformation is. And like I've said, we need to transform from letters to logistics. And if we do that, we then become relevant, because look at the vast star networks that we have. If we have a correct platform that can work together with the Amazons and the like, it means we then offer the last mile delivery, and we have the infrastructure for their warehousing, and we are already engaging in that regard to say, why do you have to? We can do this for you. We have all that in place, and we need to sweat our assets, our physical assets, as well as coming up with the digital, platform that will then enable the economy to move. And I believe if you see good countries doing very well, just to check, their post office is doing very well. So it becomes an enabler to the government. And it's just that governments may fail to understand and appreciate what they have in their hand and how they can use that which is in their hands. And as Zimbabweans, we are very happy that this has been entrusted to us, and we are busy running with it to ensure that there's that seamless flow of ordering, small flow of transportation, and flow of delivery. We have a mobile, an online shopping mall, and we are improving on that mall, and we were one of the first African countries to have an online shopping mall in the post office, and everybody is learning from that, and we are improving. This is why we want to have the Shanes on board, the Amazon on board, and all these other players. And when we do that, we have that. And we are also seeing an opportunity as a post. Why should we fail to have a payment gateway? People must pay through the post. And there's a lot that the post can do, but people are clogged on letters and only these letters, which is also declining to some extent. But these are my views. We may differ with other designated operators, but I feel that's what the post should do, the post of the 21st century. And remember, I like this social scientist who talks about the mindset to say the literate of the 21st century are not those people who cannot read and write, but these are the people who cannot learn and relearn. So why
Yes.
is he saying that? He's saying sometimes we were acculturated into letters as post, and this was our identity. That's why when you meet anyone in the street, they'll ask you, you work for the post office? What are you doing in the post office? Are they letters? Anyone is not writing letters. It's that. So the people must unlearn to say, no, the environment now dictates that we move in the digital era, in the digital space, and we need to take that whole space. You look at the national addressing system, the post has a role. You look at the national emailing address, because the post is the owner of addresses. If you go to any country and if you see roads that are not named, there is a dead post office. The post office knows who should be staying where, and the post office must come up with the GPSs They must know the codes, the postal codes. Those are the mandates of the post. And now, because of the digital era, you just have to transfer, you just have to digitize. By digitizing, you are moving from physical to digital. And in that regard, you have presence in that space. You demand your presence and your space in that regard.
Wow, awesome. So I have two more questions to ask, and I'll let you go. And the way you spoke, you made it look very, very, should I say, not easy, but you make it very achievable. You make it very achievable. And I believe that other postal service that will watch this will feel okay. There are some things to learn from what ZIMPOST is doing. However, also from what you've cited so many leaders, from your work, it shows that you are also learning every single day. So for a postal service, African postal service around the world, I mean that they are still struggling with transitioning, what will be your advice to them? And understanding that it's not totally, should I say, it's not totally their fault. There could be other factors that are, limiting the transformation. What can you advise them from your own standpoint?
Thank you so much. I believe in things being done. Let's go to the B, the values, the subtle values of ZIMPOST. We believe we begin with the end in mind. As leaders, don't stop learning. As
Mm,
organizations, don't stop learning. Create that environment where people are supposed to learn. People are not punished for failure as they have been learning. So when they come up with a project and it fails, you shouldn't be that punitive because they have failed, but you encourage and draw lessons from what they've done and build them. I tell you, a lot of leaders they don't improve on themselves. That is very dangerous. They live in the old age, and this is why they are failing to adapt to the dictates of the environment, and that adaptation is becoming a problem. But whilst we are adapting, I believe that our brains are like identical traveling bags. I believe that some they may pack more in them than others. What am I saying? I'm saying we can have a different understanding, assimilation, and and acceptance rates at different levels. That's okay. But allow me to quote Martin Luther King to say, if you can't fly, you rather run. If you can't run, you rather walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, don't be stagnant. Keep moving forward.
oh,
Because that is what is people then get stuck. They're like ostriches who put their heads in the sand and they are afraid instead of facing the challenges head on. So people must continue to learn. Draw lessons from what you have failed. Why have I failed? How did I fail? What is it that I should have done better? And how do I improve from there? What's the way forward? Lessons learned, everybody is there. And we are improving. The next time we don't, look at economies like Japan. They've improved exponentially. Why? Because they've learned and failed and learned and failed. And they've created that environment to say, no, 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 here we learn and we want to see things. And we criticize to say, why have this failed? And not to criticize the one who has failed, but to say, this idea
mm,
has failed, why? And when we do that as Africans, we then become, we get to the launch pad where we can actually do better than what we are doing.
perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have spoken very intelligently. I would also say that I think what is going on in Zimbabwe, I mean Zimbabwe. should be out there much more. I think more people need to hear about it. From what you have said, I mean, you've told stories, you've shared a number of things that I might not be able to lay my hands on social media. But if you do more, or if you are able to communicate more to the media and people see what is happening, I believe it will help other African postal service. I mean, this story has to go out. People need to know about what is happening in ZIMPOST. Perhaps that could help them to adapt some of the ideas. It could also, encourage them to see that someone is doing this already. For example, when we were at Cape Verde, most people didn't know that the kind of transformation you've spoken about was going on, is going on in Zimbabwe. And people were like, so at the beginning, people were, their hands were folded. They were like, okay, where do we go from here? But when you shared, our face was brightening. We feel, okay, there is hope for Africa Postal Service. So I believe that this story has to be shared much more. Um, People need to know about it within and outside Zimbabwe. I believe it will encourage many more people. So um, I want you to share your last word. What will you say to the public? Perhaps there's a question I didn't ask that you would like to speak to in 2 minutes. Please go ahead, sir.
So my last words are, as a postal leader, it is very important that as postal leaders, let's ensure that we work with our governments to get support. We support our governments in every aspect, because whatever we do, it impacts on the nations that we represent. So instead of blaming the darkness, let's light a candle if we can and stop blaming. Instead, let's take action. Let's create great enthusiasm in ourselves. Let's operate to our potential. Let's destroy negative attitude. Change starts with us, with myself, and can begin only from within. Otherwise, those are my parting words.
Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate your presence and accepting to share what is going on in Zimbabwe. And I believe this will help many more people, to see that change can actually begin from us. We can do better. And one thing that stood out for me in the last part of this conversation was the quote you made from Martin Luther King, saying that if you can't fly, you run. If you can't run, you walk. If you can't walk, at least crawl. One thing that you must surely do is that you have to keep moving. Never stay stagnant. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Have a blessed day, sir.
Thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate the time that we have shared and the insights. Otherwise, God bless you. Bye for now.